What is going on, YouTube? Sorry for being so loud, but UFC 327 finally is here this Saturday. I'm going to give y'all my entire breakdown and prediction of every fight on the card. I've been waiting for this for so long. I have been waiting for so fucking long. Let's hop right into it. Charles Radtke versus Francisco Prado. If you're a UFC fan, if you're an MMA fan, you should want Charles Radtke to win. You should want him to get on the mic and say whatever he's got to say. But regardless, I do think Charles Radtke's gonna finish Francisco Prado. He's probably gonna KO him. Francisco Prado is a very, very small welterweight. He's like 5'9", 5'10", I want to say. But he's stocky, but not. He's got like a stocky lightweight build. He should not be fighting at welterweight whatsoever. His IQ is not good at all. You saw that in the Nikolai Vretnikov fight, which I think was his last fight. Nikolai Vretnikov versus Francisco Prado was like a shit back and forth affair where Vretnikov was getting the better of the exchanges on the feet, but they were just doing completely like unnecessary things. Like Nikolai kept doing spinning attacks out of nowhere, and they were both fucking gassed in like the second round. Charles Radtke, we know his game. He's got power in his hands. If he's gonna land an overhand right, or he's gonna take you down, work you down there, try to beat you up on the ground, and that's about it. I think that style is going to beat Francisco Prado. Radtke's a seasoned vet. There's nothing like Prado does that Radtke hasn't seen, where it's gonna shock him, where Prado doesn't have power where it looks like he could have power. He doesn't. So I think this is a fucking layup for Charles Radtke, who 5'9" for Charles Radtke seems insane. Hold on. Charles Radtke cannot be 5'5", 5'9". He is. Charles Radtke is 5'9". I'm sorry. Francisco Prado's 5'10". They're both small, short welterweights. Charles Radtke seems way bigger than 5'9", though. That's fucking insane. There's no way. There's actually no way. There's no fucking way he's 5'9". There's actually no fucking way. I guess he's 5'9". He's still gonna beat Francisco Prado by finish, though. Finish in the second or third round. I think he's better on the feet. I think he's got more power. I think he's got the ground game advantage. Francisco Prado is like a blocky lightweight who's there to stuff takedowns and throw some pretty unskillful strikes on the feet. Moving on, though. If this will load, please load. Thank you. Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. I guess my computer doesn't want to load their stuff. You load that one, but you gonna load this one. Okay. We're just gonna do it like this. Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque making his middleweight debut. This is not a good matchup for Vicente Luque. I'm sorry. His chin it's just not what it used to be. It's not what it used to be. His chin's not there. And one thing you could rely on for Luque, besides the ground game, was, he's crafty in the pocket. He'll knock you out. He could just sleep you. He's fighting Kelvin Gastelum. There's zero chance that Vicente Luque gets a knockdown or not a knockout. Excuse me. Zero chance. Just completely wash it off the board. I'm sure if you look up, if I look up odds, this is at my local casino. Vicente Luque odds to knock out. His odds to knock out Kelvin Gastelum is probably in fucking insane. Luque by KO plus 1,000. Yeah, it's just not fucking happening. Okay, this is not happening. So the puncher's chance is completely gone for Vicente Luque. And besides that, I think Kelvin is more skilled in the pocket than Vicente Luque. Call me crazy. Kelvin, as much of a blob as he is, he's pretty crafty with his in and out movement with his hands. He's still got some hand speed. He's still got good movement. He just needs to be disciplined. Like, he could easily fight at 170 if he was disciplined and not a fat fuck. But I think this fight will be on the feet. I think it'll be a lot of punches, not a lot of kicks. And I think Kelvin's just way better with his hands, and I think he will sleep Vicente Luque in the first round. I unfortunately do. They both can be patient, but when they get going, they both get going. And I Kelvin's hands are decent. Like, I'm not gonna act like he's shit. He lost his last fight to Joe Pyfer, I believe it was. He fought Joe Pyfer, and then he fought someone before that or after that he kind of cheated against. But am I thinking about? I'm not bullshitting. I'm not bullshitting. Dustin Stoltzfus, yeah, at Noche, because then he fought Pyfer before that. That was a great fight. They were both knocking each other, hurting each other. Kelvin was knocking him down a bunch of times. Kelvin's hands are still there, and I think he's gonna KO Vicente Luque. Let me get back on track, though. I'm all over the fucking place right now. But moving on, Chris Padilla versus Markel Medeiros. Now, Chris Padilla is one of the best unranked lightweights on the roster. If you know, you know. That's all I gotta say. If you know, you know. Chris Padilla is one of the best unranked lightweights on the roster. He's on a tear right now. He's pretty good everywhere. He doesn't lack anywhere at all. Mark Medeiros is coming off his KO win against Mark Choinsky, who stepped in on short notice against him. The moral of the story of that fight was Medeiros was just leg kicking the fuck out of Choinsky, who couldn't check a leg kick to save his life. I think that was on the Chicago card, I want to say, on the Hamzat card back in August. So it's been a minute since we've seen Markel Medeiros. It's probably been longer than that, but it's been a while since Markel Medeiros is in there, especially for a prospect. You want to see him back in there quicker than that. But I'm taking Chris Padilla by KO, honestly. I think Medeiros is there to be hit. He's there to be taken down, and Chris Padilla is really fucking good. He's got power. He's got a good ground game. He's solid. He can't really be taken down and just dogged like that. Chris Padilla is really solid. I think he's going to knock out Markel Medeiros, who is pretty open when you're exchanging. He likes to float on the outside and kind of pick away at you, stomp at your legs and shit like that. He kind of reminds me of Ian Gary at lightweight for some reason, but I don't think he's going to beat Chris Padilla. I'd be lying if I saw this fight going past like a round and a half. I would truly be lying. So I think Chris Padilla is going to get a round two, like an early round two KO with like a swarming Markel Medeiros and just a nice overhand right landing, wobbling Medeiros, and then Chris Padilla goes in for the finish. Moving on. Tatiana Suarez taking on Lupi Godinez. Do you care? Do I care? I'm going to go through this quickly. Tatiana Suarez, we know her game. She has abysmal stand-up. She has abysmal everything standing up. She's dog shit standing up unless she's in the clinch and she's like kneeing you to your body. And we know Lupi Godinez's game. She likes to stand on the feet and box. Tatiana Suarez is not going to box with her. Excuse me. This will be one of those fights where Tatiana's like on the front foot, all the way on the outside, like looking like a little tarantula, just like kind of bent down and going like that. And then she'll close the distance. And I think she'll just wet blanket Lupi Godinez for 3 rounds. I don't think she'll get a finish here. Lupi Godinez is pretty... I like Lupi Godinez because she's kind of fun sometimes when she has the right dance partner. But Tatiana Suarez is a horrible, horrible matchup for her just because she doesn't have the greatest like takedown defense, and that's all Tatiana Suarez wants to do is just get on top of you. But I think she's regressed so much since she was like, oh, she's the boogeyman of the division. She's really regressed since the injuries. So I think she'll just have to stick with wet blanketing people instead of finishing them like she was doing before. So I'm going Tatiana Suarez 30-27 decision, where Lupi's doing good on the feet, doing good in boxing range, and Tatiana Suarez clinches her up against the cage. She's so much bigger than her frame wise. Knees to the body. Oh, I got tripped your leg out, takedown. I'm in half guard. Little, woman's 30-27. That's all I know how to. That's all I can describe it. That's the only way I can describe it. Mateusz Gamrot versus Esteban Ribovic. This fight being this low on this card is fucking insane. We have Patricio Pitbull, Aaron Pico, Kevin Holland, two unranked welterweights, exciting, but unranked, and two unranked featherweights above number 8, Mateusz Gamrot. I guess UFC, I guess. Gamrot versus Ribovic. I'm going with Mateusz Gamrot. I think the unranked level of lightweight is good, but they are not ranked lightweight level. There are a couple of them, the Quillen Salkields, Fares Diam, those guys that are for sure like ranked contenders. They are. But the Chris Duncans, the Riboviches, the Rebeckys, the Terrence McKinneys, those level of guys, the fucking Daniel Zellhuber, I don't think those guys are ready. I don't think so. Even like Jalen Turner, I can put in their category of I don't think you're ready for number 8 Gamrot. I think this will be like a Ludovic Klein situation where Gamrot's just he's having his way in the wrestling. He's making Ribovic think about a lot on the feet because Ribovic went life and death with Daniel Zellhuber. Don't forget, like, Daniel Zellhuber is dog shit. I know MMA math is stupid, but Daniel Zellhuber is fucking garbage. So, and there's nothing that I've seen from Ribovic that tells me he's gonna be able to deal with a Gamrot single leg into he's lifting your leg above your head, now he's throwing you down, now he's landing in side control, or he's landing in half guards, passing you, you're trying to get back up to the feet, he's sweeping your leg out from under you, he's hitting you with little rabbit punches to the side of your head, and there's nothing that he showed me that he's ready for that. In Gamrot's last fight, we saw Charles Oliveira he was just basically walking Charles down. What was he? No, Charles was walking him down, but Gamrot was like landing on the back foot. He was landing a lot on Charles, and he just doesn't have power. And it's also Charles Oliveira, so you don't really want to deal with his grappling, especially with him on your back. With Esteban, we know what he is. He's volume heavy. He's going in for a firefight. He's doing a lot of crazy shit on the feet. He's landing high at a high percentage. Gamrot's not letting you throw 125 strikes around against him. That's just not going to happen. You're going to throw like 40 around. Gamrot, they're going to go out there. They're going to be completely out of range. And Gamrot's going to be walking forward. And at the 3 minute and 52 second mark, Gamrot's going to shoot a takedown. And that's probably going to be the whole round. I think Gamrot's going to win a 29-28 decision. Neither of these guys have power. It's literally volume versus wrestling, and I think Gamrot he's still high level grappling. Like he beat Arman Tsarukyan in the grappling. He did. He out controlled Arman Tsarukyan. Just because you lose to Charles Oliveira doesn't change how I feel about Gamrot. He kind of got robbed against Dan Hooker. I'm gonna say it. I don't know. Did he? I don't know. Dan Hooker beat him, but Dan Hooker's he's a different fighter than Ribovic. He's way longer. He's a different fighter than Ribovic. But I'm going with Gamrot, 29-28, 30-27, like a clear-cut Ludovic Klein Gamrot win. Like he just completely outworking Ribovic. Ribovic isn't looking like himself. He's looking a little deflated. It's literally the story of Gamrot. He's just gonna out-grapple his opponent, who's a striker. That's the story of Gamrot in like the last 4 years. But moving on though. Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. First time we're seeing Kevin Holland all year. This is late for him. He hasn't fought in a while. His last fight was Mike Malott, I think. that was a couple months ago, but Kevin Holland's in there like 4 or 5 times a year. It's April. This is our first time seeing him. Hopefully his balls are okay. His last fight, Mike Malott was cheating like a motherfucker and got away with it. But this fight, Randy Brown's coming off his loss against Gabriel Bonfim. He looked like complete dog shit. He got just completely bitched by Gabriel. Low kicking the absolute fuck out of him. You would think someone like Randy Brown would know how to check low kicks, but he does not. Gabriel Bonfim was just chopping low, and that's basically how the fight went. Chop low, chop low, chop low. Randy stumbling, then you finish him on the feet. Like a fucking amateur fight out there. And now you got Gabriel Bonfim fighting Bilal Muhammad. But I digress. Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. I'm going to go with Randy Brown, unfortunately. Kevin Holland hasn't looked the greatest in his last couple showings. His stand-up isn't like it used to be. Like, I can't get that D-Rod performance out of my head where he just looks so lost on the feet. And Randy Brown, as shit as he looked against Gabriel Bonfim is pretty good. I'm not saying his name like that. Gabriel Bonfim. Yeah, Bonfim. Bonfim's pretty good. He had the game plan, go out and chop low. Randy didn't check enough. Kevin Holland doesn't throw low kicks like that. He's pretty much a boxer on the feet. He'll throw a couple low kicks, but he's not going to be out there chopping them like Gabriel was against Randy Brown. I don't see that. I think they'll be standing up kind of in boxing range with each other. I think Randy's way more crisp than Kevin. I think he's more crisp. I think he's got more power than Kevin, and they're both long, so it's not like Kevin's going to out-athlete Randy Brown. He's not going to outrange him like you can say about when he fought Vicente Luque or something. He caught Vicente out, or when he fought Buckley and he was sniping Buckley from distance. Like, he can't do that with Randy Brown. Randy's also long, tall, similar reach, 3-inch reach disparity, but they're the same height. So I think Randy Brown's, I don't know. KO, I don't know. I was pretty undecided on this one. I'm not going to say KO. I think it'll be a pretty good decision. I think it'll be a pretty close decision. I don't know about KO. I think this is one of those fights where you think KO, but it's the new UFC, so it'll probably just be like a pretty decent back and forth affair. I don't know if I can see one of these guys just like out. I don't know if I can see it. So I'm going Randy Brown by 29-28 decision. That's probably gonna bite me in my ass, but I don't like Kevin Holland, but I picked him to beat Mike Malott, so it's not like I'm being unbiased or I'm being super biased towards against Holland. It's still fuck him, but I do think Randy Brown's better than him, no matter the IQ. Patricio fucking Pitbull is taking on Aaron Pico as the fucking prelim feature fight. Wow. Two unranked featherweights, two Bellator bums fighting each other. I bet we can't wait for this one to open up the fucking main card, or to end the prelims and before we open up the main card. This is one of the fights that is gonna be on CBS, so on regular TV. I think it's Pico, Swanson, Reyes. I think these are the 3 fights that are free, and then they're gonna go back to Paramount Plus. Don't quote me on that. I know they're doing that on this card. I just don't know where they start. But I know this is the fight that's going to be on there 1,000%. Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. Where do I start with this? Aaron Pico, extremely aggressive fighter, but I think Pitbull, he's got this type of fighter figured out. With Yair's a little weird because he's so much longer and taller than Pitbull, and he's got those kicks, so he can just keep range and blast body kicks. And Pitbull's got this new thing where he's fighting like a bitch, and he doesn't want to engage with anybody, and he doesn't want to really fight like he used to. He's super calculated now, super out of range, super boring now. Like before he was calculated, but he was still like dangerous as fuck. Now he's just not dangerous at all. He's a decision machine at this point. But Yair gave him troubles because Yair's so much longer than him, and he was just blasting kicks, and Pitbull couldn't really cross the void because, like I said, he's a fucking switch flipped in his head, and he's no longer the same fighter. But Pico is he's a glass cannon. He's truly a glass cannon. He's gonna walk forward, march forward. He's gonna be trying to take Pitbull down. He's gonna be throwing caution to the wind. But I think Pitbull's too safe for that. I just spit. I think Pitbull's too safe. I do think he's too safe. I think he's way too safe to fight a fighter like Aaron Pico, where like Pico thinks he's just gonna walk forward, and I think that's when we'll get over-unders against the cage, or like we'll get over-unders and we'll see Pitbull like looking up at the clock and shit, like, is this nigga, he's gonna gas out at any moment now. I'm just gonna keep peppering him with his jab, peppering him with a low kick. I'm gonna keep at range, and then if he gets too close, I'm a clinch over-under. I might go for a takedown. I think he could out jiu-jitsu Pico, maybe not out wrestle him, out physicality him, but jiu-jitsu wise, I'm taking Pico or Pitbull over Pico. But yeah, Aaron Pico's shit to me. He's always been shit. Even in Bellator, when he was getting those KOs, he was getting KO'd by fucking bums. He is a glass cannon. He is Cody Garbrandt reincarnated, but like 10 times dumber for some reason. I'm not a fan of Pico's style. I think he'll pay for his style, but he already fucking did. He got slept out cold for thinking he was TJ Dillashaw. So who knows how much that affects his style, but it probably won't. They got them up this high because they think Pico's gonna come out there and be aggressive. And like I said, Pitbull's not going for that, man. He's not the same fighter anymore. He's a decision merchant now. He's gonna stall, and he's gonna be boring. He's gonna be out at range. He's gonna be smart about it, and he's gonna get his win so he can get ranked and so he can climb up the rankings. I do think Pitbull is shit, but he's good shit. Like, he's smartly boring. That's how I think of Patricio Pitbull at this point. And I think of Aaron Pico as like a bulldog who doesn't really know where he's going type shit. Now, if he lands on Pitbull, I think he'll sleep him. But I don't think he'll land like a flush hook that'll just send Pitbull into orbit. Cut to him sleeping Pitbull out cold. But I'm going with Patricio Pitbull like 30-27, honestly. I think he's better than Aaron Pico. I think this is one of those fights where it's you're going to land that bomb or you're going to get outclassed. And I think Pitbull's for sure better than Pico. Moving on, though. Cub Swanson. Cub Swanson in his retirement fight taking on Nate the Train Landwehr. It's good watching you, Cub. Really good watching you, Cub. Great career for Cub Swanson. Hasn't been in the octagon in a while. Like, Cub Swanson hasn't been in there since, when was UFC? What was that, San Diego? Was it San Diego? That was December of 2024, I want to say. Not San Diego. It was, Billy Quarantillo was his last fight. That was in California or something on the Buckley Covington fight night. One of the best fight nights of the 2020s. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch it. One of the best fight nights of the 2020s. Cub Swanson sleeps Billy Quarantillo out cold. But back to this fight, I'm going with Cub Swanson by KO. I think Nate the Train, his days are over with. The train has ended. The train has made its final stop, okay? And its final stop is on another nigga's final stop, unfortunately. I think Cub, he's really, really, really solid still. Like, he's old as fuck, but Cub is really smart. He's really smart. He can take a punch. He's good with his range. And apparently he's still got fucking power. Slept Billy out cold. I think he'll KO Nate Landwehr in the first round. I think we'll have one of those really feel-good moments. Cub, he'll lay his gloves down. His wife's beautiful woman. They'll come in the cage. They'll have their moment. I think Nate's done, man. He's looked slow. He's looked old. He's looked old. He's looked like he doesn't even look UFC level to me, honestly, at this point. Like Nate, he never was that good, but he doesn't look UFC level to me anymore. He's slow. He's looked old. He's so predictable with his entrances. It's not the same as it used to be, and what it used to be wasn't even that great. So I got Cub early KO. I got Cub like first 4 minutes KO, and then we get the retirement package, and it's a really feel-good moment. He rides off into the sunset. He's just opened up his new gym. He's been out for a while, so you know this has been on his brain. I think he'll KO Nate the Train. Johnny fucking Walker versus Dominic Reyes. When I saw this fucking fight, I was crying laughing. Because this is the definition of a truly unpredictable fight. These niggas are so shit, bro. These are the biggest. These are the examples of glass cannons that you want to look for in MMA. I was not on the Dominic Reyes train when he was making his resurgence, when he fucking KO'd Nikita Krylov, and then he beat Dustin Jacoby before that or whatever. I was not on the Dominic Reyes resurgence tour. I was not. I did not think that he was making, he's making this big return. No, I knew Carlos Ulberg was going to sleep him out cold because Dominic Reyes cannot move forward like a competent fighter. He absolutely can't. The one moment that I've ever seen Dominic Reyes be good moving forward, the one fucking time, was when he fought Yuri, and it was like in the first round. It was early in the first round. Yuri like stupidly went in. Dominic Reyes caught him with a straight, and then Yuri kind of went on the back foot, and then Reyes hit him with like a good kick when he was walking forward. That's the only time I've ever seen Dominic Reyes look good on the front foot. I say that to say Johnny Walker will go on the back foot as well. They are both so dumb. And they both are so shit. They're so shit, bro. Oh my gosh, this fight is gonna be hilarious. This is gonna be. What are the odds? Don't gamble, kids. I am not a gambler. I had this on here because when I was making my picks, I was like, how am I gonna? I was like, what are the odds if I pick all of my picks? What are the odds? What would this get me? But this fight going the distance, I'm sure it's like a plus 500. Plus 320 to go the distance. Minus 455. This is not going the distance. Someone's getting KO'd. I think it's Dominic Reyes. Johnny Walker is not. What did he do against Zhang Mingyang? He went out there, fake Hamzat Chimaev, tried to take him down, got up. What does he do? Blast low kicks. Hurts Zhang Mingyang. And then he finishes the fight. Johnny Walker is dynamic. That's his thing. He's dynamic, but if he gets hit on the chin, he's gone. But if you can't put him on the back foot and make him like scour away like Ankalaev won. Ankalaev was literally just bringing the leg up like he's gonna teep, fake the teep, throw the teep. Now he's just marching you forward, and he lands a good outside low kick, or he lands a good low kick, and then he just lands that big punch, or like Volkan Ozdemir was just walking Johnny Walker down. You have to be able to do that to Johnny Walker. I truly do. Jamal Hill. What was Jamal Hill doing? He was going forward with that dumbass style that he does when he's going forward, and he threw as Johnny Walker's going backwards, and Johnny Walker passes out. Dominic Reyes cannot do that. He cannot KO someone on the front foot. He absolutely can't. He can't. He's one of the worst front foot fighters I've ever seen in my life. I think that's how you got to beat Johnny. I think if you let him walk forward and you let him try to throw kicks out there, be dynamic, throwing fucking jumping knees, and he's overwhelming you with all this bullshit he's doing, I think Dominic Reyes is too weak-willed to fight through that or to land that crisp shot that in the chaos I'm still calm and I'm got my guard up and I fucking throw an uppercut, backhand, roll. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not doing shit like that. Maybe he can land like a pullback too. I can't see it though. I can't see it. I see Johnny Walker sleeping Dominic Reyes just out cold too with like a dumbass combination, like a fucking standing hammer fist or some dumb shit. I see it happening in the first round. I just see it. I see it happening and I see myself laughing and having a great time. But this fight makes me happy because no matter who wins, it's gonna be in one of the funniest ways possible. So great matchmaking. This is great matchmaking. 10 and 12, it makes sense. It's gonna be fucking hilarious. So I got Johnny Walker by round 1 KO over Dominic Reyes, who's questioning himself after getting slept out cold by Carlos Ulberg. He's like, damn, do I still got it? Damn, do I still got that dog in me? Johnny Walker's riding high. He's coming out there being goofy and shit. He's throwing axe kicks and all of that shit. He's just overwhelming Reyes. And Reyes is trying to be all serious and all coiled up and shit. I can see it happening. I can see it. Moving on. Curtis Blaydes versus Josh Hokett. This is the one that I've been thinking about for a while because I'm not a fan of Josh Hokett's character that he portrays, that he's trying to play out to, I'm not, God forbid a white boy get a little motion. I'm not against you getting your motion if you got motion, but he's a weirdo. He's got like the Kobe persona where he's got to be controversial. He's got to say this. He's got to hate on your favorite fighter. He's one of those characters. I'm not a fan of him. But I don't let those biases cloud I don't let those opinions like make me biased. I don't let that cloud my judgment. I say that to say I was gonna pick Curtis Blaydes before I started recording. I had my mind picked on Curtis Blaydes. I'm gonna pick Josh Hokett to beat Curtis Blaydes. I think he is extremely, extremely dynamic. I know Curtis is good like everywhere. He's good everywhere. Curtis has good jiu-jitsu. He's got good takedown defense. He's not a good kicker, but he's got good hands. He's got power. I know that when he fights somebody that's dynamic, that can put your lights out like that shit doesn't really fly with Curtis. I'm sorry. When somebody's fast, they're athletic, they can dart in and out, they can make you question shit. I'm thinking like, I don't know how he deals with Josh Hokett, like starting off the fight, rushing at him, trying to take him down, and fuck no. I'm taking Curtis Blaydes. I'm not switching. Before the video started, I picked Curtis Blaydes. I had him in my mind and pick him. I'm picking Curtis Blaydes. I'm staying with it. I'm not switching. I'm picking Curtis Blaydes. I can't imagine Josh Hokett running out there and just blasting a double leg against Curtis Blaydes and just having his fucking way with Blaydes like he just did Denzel Freeman. I can't see it. I can't see him 1-2 down the pipe dropping Curtis. I don't see him being able to do that. I think Curtis will go out there. I think the low kicks will play a big factor in this fight. I think Curtis will slow down the pace. Hokett will try to be, he'll try to go out there. He'll try to be bouncy. He'll try to rush in a double. Curtis will like stuff it, but Hokett will have over-unders against the cage or like a collar tie against the cage, knee in the body and shit. Curtis will be poised. He'll get back to range. I think he will be low kicking Josh Hokett. And I just can't see Hokett. I can't see it. I can't see him taking down Curtis Blaydes. I can't see him taking him down and holding him there. I can't. What's his name is really good. What's the one that everybody fucking hates? The one that just got cut. He wet blankets everybody. You know what I'm talking about. Fought Volkov. Fought fucking Blaydes. Slept him. Why can't I think of his name? Brazilian. Fuck. Fought Derek Lewis. Just camped in full mount the whole fight. Fuck, what is his name? Oh, fuck. That was horrible spelling. Gelton Almeida. Damn, it's not that hard. I can't see. Gelton Almeida is a really, really good grappler. He can hold people down. He couldn't hold Curtis down like that. Like the first round he did, Curtis was getting back to his feet. But the second round when he tried to take Curtis down, had a good split base and was just elbowing him and KO'd him. I can't see Hokit running a clinic like he did against Denzel Freeman. I think all that super fast shit, you got to leave that to Tom Aspinall. I can't see it. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. I think Hokit will go out there and be super energetic in the first round. I think Curtis will make sure, let's have a blob off. I don't know how good Josh's gas tank is. If it's good, then he'll probably sleep Curtis. But if it's not, I don't think it will be. I think Curtis will beat him throughout the rest of the fight. And then round 3, get a KO. I'm not changing again. I tried to change it. I'm not changing again. Damn, this is a fucking co-main event. Jeez Louise, man. Azamat Murzakanov taking on Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa making his light heavyweight debut after years and years at middleweight of just ruining matchups, not fighting, pulling out of fights, missing weight, whatever. Against the professional Azamat Murzakanov. I'm going with Azamat Murzakanov. He's really fucking good. Now, if you looked at both of these guys and you were like, and you asked some random on the street, who do you think did steroids? You're gonna say Paulo Costa, but no, Azamat Murzakanov popped for steroids, and Paulo Costa hasn't. He hasn't. Who said that? He hasn't. Paulo Costa hasn't popped for steroids. But I'm going with Azamat Murzakanov. I've never been high on Paulo Costa, and I'm still not high on him. His performance against Roman Kopylov didn't move me as much as it moved others. He just completely abused a bitch-made Roman Kopylov. Roman Kopylov is very soft. The thing about Azamat is he's got power like a motherfucker. I don't know how. Don't know why, but when he touches people, they just seem to fall down. On the Contender Series, in the UFC, he's KOing people with jabs. He's KOing people with super tight hooks when they're damn near face to face. He's hitting people with little ass hooks and they're fainting. He's got a lot of power in his hands and he's very bouncy. I don't think there'll be much takedowns here in this fight. Paulo doesn't shoot, and Azamat, I think he's comfortable enough on the feet to not shoot. Go watch his fight with Iwan Kutalaba. If you know, you know. That's nothing to do with standing up or anything. That's just a good fight. But I think he's gonna KO Paulo Costa. I think they'll be in the pocket where Paulo likes to be, because Paulo's blasting body kicks, and he's not really blasting low kicks, but he's gonna blast that body kick, especially with opposite stance. He's gonna have to. But Azamat's very calculated. When you're stepping in and when you're trying to do things against him, he knows that, and he's gonna punish you for that. When Rakic was trying to step into an attack at big 6'4", 6'5" like he is, Azamat caught him coming in, and he fucking slept him with a jab. Not a jab, it was a turned over right hand. It wasn't just a slept. It was a right hand caught him coming in, turned over, properly turned over. He waits for those moments, and he's calculated. And I think in the pocket, he's way better than Paulo, because Paulo, as he looks like he's a fucking world beater, but he doesn't seem to have power in his hands at all. His kicks look like they hurt, but his power looks pretty shit. I think Azamat's gonna KO him in boxing range at the end of the first round. I really do. I think it'll be a moment where Paulo gets stung and he's backing up against the cage, and and then Azamat will be fainting, and then he'll hit him with a right hook over the top, and just sleep Paulo out cold. I can see it. This card should be fucking amazing. How many of these fights have I predicted to not go the distance? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. I picked 8, and this one probably won't go the distance. I'm bullshitting. I think it will, but it mostly, like, it's one of those fights where it shouldn't go the distance. Like, a lot of these fights should end in finishes. This card is going to be crazy. Knock on wood. This card is going to be fucking insane. But Yuri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting so long for this shit. I've been waiting to see Yuri back in the cage, man. I love Yuri. I love Yuri Prochazka. He's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. Carlos Ulberg is really fucking good. I'm going with Yuri. You've got to beat Alex Pereira to knock Yuri Prochazka out. You have to. You've got to have that power. You've got to have that otherworldly power to knock Yuri out. Now, this whole notion that Carlos Ulberg is boring, he is, but this whole notion that he just can't have fun fights and that is stupid as fuck, because outside of the Volkan Ozdemir fight and the Jan Blachowicz fight, Carlos Ulberg, he's got a lot of KOs. He's got like a lot of wild, like he's throwing wild shit, like wild punches. He's got a lot of those type of KOs, or he's got calculated KOs like against Reyes. Ulberg is a really good fighter. And in my mind is telling me, man, Ulberg is kind of like Alex, you know, he's patient in that way. He's got a good jab. He's got good hands. He's got great kicks. He's good at kicking low. You know, he's got a good low kick. You know, CKB guys all have good low kicks outside of Dan Hooker for some reason. He's long. He's rangy. Like this is one of those things where I'm like, oh, you know, he can do like Alex did against Yuri, or he can have like. He's a more polished Rakic, where at UFC 300, Rakic was fucking destroying Yuri in the first round, but then Yuri just Yuri'd him. And then I'm watching. Not every fight for Ulberg is this cool, cute, I'm getting everything I want, I'm setting you up, I'm setting traps up for you. They're not all like that. A lot of those fights, Ulberg is in the fire, or like his opponent is like coming towards him and he's landing shots, or his opponent's landing shots on him doing bullet. Like, you know, they're not all the Jan Blachowicz performances. They aren't. Yuri thrives in that shit. Yuri is going to walk forward. I think he's going to walk forward. He's going to make Ulberg guess a lot. You know, he's going to be doing a bunch of bullshit. He's going to be throwing teeps. He's going to be throwing in front. Like, I can see it. I can see Ulberg having a generational first round, like a Rakic, Yuri, UFC 300 type first round. I can see it. I can see Ulberg starting off. They're both kind of, you know, it's a 5-rounder, so they're both trying to conserve energy. They're both just feeling each other out. Yuri's switching stances. He's being goofy. Ulberg's catching him on the stance switch. Boom, low kick. People are like, oh, fuck. He's going to fuck Yuri's legs up. You know, I can see Yuri getting clipped with a couple punches. I can see Ulberg just winning the first round just from out damaging, or just out pointing Yuri. I can see it. But, excuse me, as the fights go on, if you are not Alex Pereira, if you cannot just completely shut Yuri's lights out, you are not beating him in a 5-round fight. You just aren't. If you can't beat him, just make it go black. You're not beating this man. You're not. He's got too much heart, grit. He's got too much power. Like, I feel like Yuri's power gets underrated for some reason. Like, I think he just gets labeled a madman and like this goofy, but he's got serious power. Like, everybody that he's beaten, he's fucking knocked them off their feet with his power. He's just sleeping them out cold, or he's like, you know, Jamal Hill, slip, 1-2, Jamal Hill fucking douche. Volkan Ozdemir, 1-2, lays him out cold. Spinning elbow, Dominic Reyes. Fucking Rakic, beating up Rakic. Khalil, putting damage on Khalil across 3 rounds. Even though he was losing he lost the first one clear, he looked shit. Round 2, even though he lost clear that one too, he was accumulating damage across Khalil. I think that's what he can do against Reyes or against Ulberg here. I think Ulberg will look good early. He'll look more clean. We'll be looking at Yuri like, damn, what the fuck, Yuri? Come on, Yuri. Hard to be beaten like a motherfucker. You know, I can see it. And then Yuri just front kick to the body. He's walking forward. He's throwing offbeat punches, and he's got his new and improved head movement going. Like, I can see it. This last version of Yuri that we got, that was the worst version of Yuri we've ever seen. The one versus Khalil. The worst. The absolute worst. We've had Yuri fucking headbutting punches in previous years and shit. Like, even in his Alex Pereira losses, he looked better. Nah. In the first Alex Pereira fight, he looked better. In the second one, he didn't look better. But, like, that's the worst version of Yuri we got in the last fight. His leg, he was slipping all over the octagon. He looked shit, and he still fought through the fire. He still just beat the shit out of Khalil in the third round. And I think he's going to do that to Ulberg. I don't know if Ulberg can deal with somebody like that. I thought Jan Blachowicz beat Carlos Ulberg. I did. I thought he beat him clear, too. I think Ulberg's good, but he's not Alex. He doesn't have all of those weapons like Alex does, and he doesn't have the power. He doesn't. Like, he was barely, like, Jan Blachowicz is really fucking good. He is. But Bogdan Guskov fucking 10-8'd Jan Blachowicz, you know? Like, there's no way I can see him, like, just sleeping Yuri out cold. I can't see it. With Alex, I can see, obviously, how Alex can sleep Yuri out cold. Alex has the best low kicks in the UFC. He's setting up the low kicks. Oh, bring it up high. You want to block the low kicks? I'm going to bring it up high. Like, Alex has that power. He has power over everyone that we've ever seen. Ulberg doesn't have that. I think you have to have that to beat Yuri. You've got to be able to just cut his light. You got to be able to cut that shit short. You've got to make him feel something to where he's second guessing the entire fight. And if Ulberg doesn't do that early, which he could, but I don't think he'll be able to do that early. I think we've got a vintage Yuri Prochazka performance. I'm going rounds 3 or 4 TKO for Yuri. Like, it's getting too much for Ulberg. He's starting to wear a bit of damage at the end of round 3. Round 4 comes. Yuri he's fucking still bouncing around and shit. He's looking fresh. He's really in the moment. He's fucking drawing crosses on his chest. And I can see it. And we need that. We need it. And Yuri's longer than him, too. Yuri is longer than him. Their face-off. Fuck, I can't spell. Yuri versus Ulberg face-off. Like, they're pretty similar in height. Ulberg's clearly like a little bit taller than him, but that's also a camera angle because then here, like, you know, they're the same fucking height, but Yuri's arms are longer than his. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm going Yuri Prochazka rounds 4 TKO. But if you made it this far in the video, thank you. I love you so much. Like the video and subscribe. I'm sure this will be a long one. I'll see how long this took. But if you watched through, like I said, like the video, subscribe. More content coming soon this week. And have a good one. Go Yuri.